These days, it feels like everyone's talking about startups.
Startups.
Startup ideas. Oh my god.
My friends who used to be into trade or manufacturing are now launching apps, platforms, and services. Of course, they are all inspired by stories flooding the internet. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Larry Ellison, Sam Altman. These are the new idols everyone quotes and looks up to. But what's the deal with startups? Is it really that easy? Or are there hidden secrets behind these big success stories that most people don't see? What does it take to build $1 million startup? What's more important, the idea, the team, or the money? Where do you even find funding? And why do some fail while others become the next Airbnb? Let's figure it out. Open an online store? Startup. Open a coffee shop? Startup. The word has become so trendy, it's starting to lose its meaning. But let's dig deeper because not every new business is a startup. Building a startup is like jumping off a cliff and assembling a plane on the way down, said Reid Hoffman, co-founder of LinkedIn. And that sums it up. Startups are all about innovation, rapid growth, and risk. Exactly, risk is the most important here. Unlike traditional businesses, startups aim to find a scalable model to capture global markets quickly. It's always a high-stakes game, big rewards or big failures. Traditional businesses, on the other hand, rely on tried-and-true models. Their owners already know there is demand for their product, and the goal is steady revenue with minimal risk. A burger shop on a busy street, a clothing store, or a local gym are classic examples. These ventures rarely reach a global scale, but are also less likely to fail dramatically. A startup transforms into a regular business when it discovers a repeatable and scalable business model. That's when it stops being an experiment and becomes a fully fledged company, just like Facebook, Uber, or Airbnb. Innovation is taking two things that already exist and putting them together in a new way. Sounds pretty simple, right? Okay, let's get back to startups. So, what does the classic startup model actually look like? Of course, it all starts with an idea, but not just any idea. It has to solve a specific problem, often referred to as a pain point. In a world where thousands of startups are born every day, the ability to identify a real problem and offer a solution is the cornerstone of success. Ask yourself, what problem does your product solve? How many people face this problem daily? And how critical is the problem for them? Many founders make mistakes trying to create something cool instead of solving real problems. The truth is, a startup isn't about impressing people with flashy ideas. It's about addressing pain points that genuinely need fixing. If you're not solving a problem, you're just making noise. Eric Ries, in his game-changing book, The Lean Startup, puts it perfectly. Successful startups start with understanding their customers' pain points. He explains how focusing on identifying and addressing real problems through continuous testing and learning increases your chances of building something people actually need. Oh, by the way, what problems are begging for a solution? Let me know in the comments your thoughts. Maybe your idea could inspire the next big startup. Second, turning the idea into reality. MVP. Ideas are easy, implementation is hard. This is the words from Guy Kawasaki, former Apple Evangelist. This reminds us that the true challenge and value lie in execution, not in having an idea. In the world where investors receive hundreds of proposals daily, your product needs to be tangible and clear. A prototype, or MVP, or minimum viable product, is the simplest, functional version of your product that highlights its core purpose, features, and value. It doesn't have to be perfect or complete, but it must be understandable and functional enough to prove your concept works. It's not about perfection, it's about showing potential and making your vision real. Number 3, pitch deck, the road to funding. A brilliant idea and a working prototype aren't enough without a compelling pitch deck. Investors don't fund startups because they dream of changing the world. They do it to see a return on their investment. Number 4, the team, even more important than the idea. Ben Horowitz, co-founder of one of the world's top venture capital firms, A16Z, highlights in his book that a motivated, capable team is the key to navigate the uncertainties of a startup journey. Because investors, they don't invest only in the ideas, they invest in people. Even the most promising project can fail if it's backed by a weak team. A startup isn't a sprint, it's a marathon filled with stress, uncertainty, and rapid decision making. That's why one of the most common questions from the investors is not "what are you building?" but "who is building it?" Take, for example, Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg didn't start with experience and resources, but he built a stellar team including Sheryl Sandberg, who helped transform the platform into a global powerhouse. As Mark puts it, a great team makes better decisions together than they would alone. Surround yourself with experts in product marketing and finance. Your team is not just support, it's the driving force behind your success. Number 5. Funding. How to find money for your startup. Once your startup has a solid idea, prototype, and pitch deck, it's time to secure funding for growth and scaling. Many beginners mistakenly see funding as the first and biggest barrier, which often discourages them even from starting. As Steve Blank, author of the Startup Owner's Manual, says, no startup has failed because they couldn't raise funding, they failed because they couldn't find customers. At this stage, funding, it's not about survival, it's about minimizing risks and scaling smartly. Last year, I attended several startup conferences, and after seeing the trends firsthand, I can confidently highlight 5 key areas driving innovation right now. Artificial intelligence. AI is transforming industries by automating processes and improving customer experiences. According to McKinsey, by 2030, 70% of companies will use at least one form of AI. So now investors are pouring billions into AI startup, making it the hottest sector today. Second option is fintech. Financial technologies is changing the way we bank, pay, borrow, and invest. Fintech startups make money management faster, easier, and more accessible for everyone. Another option, e-commerce. Moreover, it's no longer just online shopping. E-commerce now includes logistics, digital payments, AI-driven marketing, and data analytics. It creates a fully integrated ecosystem that keeps growing. One more booming field is healthcare and medtech. AI is transforming medical diagnostics and treatments, reducing errors and lowering costs. I would not say that in 5 years we will use digital doctors, but definitely a well-trained AI system can assist doctors in making faster, more accurate diagnosis, helping to improve global healthcare accessibility. Another thriving sector is green tech. With climate change concerns rising, startups developing sustainable and eco-friendly technologies are gaining massive attention from investors and consumers alike. Really successful green tech is shaping the future of energy, transport, and waste management. These 5 sectors are not just trends, they are driving the future. And for anyone looking to start a business, innovate, or invest, this is where the action is happening. So, to sum up, let's say you have identified a problem, figured out how to solve it, created a prototype, written a realistic business plan, assembled a skilled and experienced team, and secured funding. Does that guarantee success? Absolutely not! There are plenty of examples to prove this. Take the case of Essential Products, a startup founded by Andy Rubin, the co-creator of Android, in 2015. The company attracted significant investments, over $330 million, and launched its first and only product in 2017, the Essential Phone PH1. Despite ambitious goals and innovative features, the device failed to gain mass popularity. There were several issues: weak marketing, a high price, and technical shortcomings. As a result, in February 2020, the company officially closed. Statistics show that about 90% of startups fail, and only 1% reach unicorn status with a valuation of $1 billion or more. But believe me, all successful startups you know today began as just an idea that faced countless challenges, doubters, and obstacles. What separates the 1% from the rest is not just innovation, funding, or even timing, it's resilience, grit, and unshakable belief in their vision. Famous Elon Musk founded SpaceX in 2002 with the goal of making space travel more accessible. The first 3 launches of the Falcon 1 rocket ended in failure, bringing the company to the brink of bankruptcy. Musk was nearly out of funds, and the 4th launch was their last chance. As you can guess, the 4th launch was a success, securing a $1.6 billion contract with NASA. Today, SpaceX is the leader in commercial spaceflight, and Elon Musk is the richest person on the planet. As Steve Jobs famously said, the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. So yes, the odds are tough, but those who succeed show that the biggest breakthroughs happen when you keep going, even when everything seems against you. Believe in your idea, embrace the setbacks, learn from failures, and keep moving forward, because the only one and sure way to fail is to stop trying.